They can see everything, and besides that, they have all these copper dots. We think that this is the antenna, and they are able to broadcast from the fiber optics to the cantina and from there to somewhere else. It appeared suddenly and remained a mystery until now. The sphere of Buga just opened, and what was inside may not be from this world. In March 2025, a mysterious metallic sphere appeared over Buga, Colombia. Witnesses watched as this perfectly smooth, seamless orb descended from the sky. What began as a curious discovery has now become something far more significant. Experts are now scrambling for answers. The internal architecture, the faint glow, and what appeared to be a magnetic pulse, none of it fits any known technology. This bowling ball-sized object, weighing just 4.5 pounds, has defied conventional explanation from the start. With no visible welds or seams, the sphere has puzzled researchers since its recovery. But now, something has changed. The sphere, which has remained dormant since its discovery, has reportedly shown signs of activity. Unusual energy readings, strange symbols illuminating on its surface, and internal movement detected on recent scans have left scientists bewildered. What could this mean? Is this merely an elaborate technological puzzle, or something that challenges our understanding of what's possible? The answers may be more extraordinary than anyone expected. It's responding to us. What makes this discovery truly extraordinary is that the sphere isn't just a static object. It appears to be interactive. According to recent reports, the Buga Sphere has responded to external stimuli in ways that defy explanation. When researchers attempted various methods to understand the mysterious engravings on its surface, those ancient-looking glyphs that resemble runes in cuneiform, something unexpected happened. An archaeologist on the team decided to try a different approach. Rather than treating the markings as text, they analyzed them as frequency patterns. When the team played a low-frequency hum based on the precise angle of the carved glyphs, witnesses report that the sphere briefly vibrated in response. This isn't random. The sphere appears to be listening. Even more compelling, specialized equipment detected a soft bluish light pulsing from the core during this interaction, visible only under infrared scanning. This subtle reaction suggests the sphere may contain energy sources or mechanisms that respond to specific acoustic triggers. Dr. Velasquez, the radiologist who initially examined the sphere's interior, noted that this behavior aligns with the unusual internal architecture his team discovered, those three concentric metal layers and the mysterious microspheres contained within. And that's not even the strangest part, because what they found embedded in the center has researchers stunned. The core structure shifts. What initially fascinated researchers about the Buga Sphere was a complex internal architecture. X-ray scans revealed an elaborate structure inside the seamless exterior, three concentric metal layers containing 9 distinct microspheres arranged in a precise pattern. But now, something unprecedented has occurred. According to 2 imaging technicians working with the research team, one of those microspheres has shifted position. This movement reportedly happened after the infrared pulse was detected during the sound frequency experiments. We ran identical scans before and after the acoustic test, one technician explained. The comparison clearly shows one of the internal spheres has relocated by approximately 3 millimeters from its original position. This subtle movement has enormous implications. It suggests the sphere contains active mechanical components despite having no visible means of activation or external controls. One theoretical physicist examining the data has proposed an intriguing possibility. What we're witnessing could be part of a quantum-encoded locking mechanism, potentially an ancient sleeper system that has been awaiting specific conditions or signals for activation. If this is the first time you're hearing about this, make sure to subscribe. This story is only just beginning. So, let's break this down real quick. You've got a sphere, no seams, no visible entry, 3 metal layers, 9 internal spheres, and now it's responding to sound, to temperature, maybe even to light. This isn't a decorative object. It's more like a vault. But the question is, a vault for what? What makes this truly perplexing is the sphere's construction. Modern manufacturing struggles to create objects without seams, yet this sphere appears completely seamless. The material itself remains puzzlingly cold to the touch regardless of ambient temperature. And now, with evidence of internal movement, we're facing something that challenges our understanding of what's possible. Is this sophisticated human technology that's somehow being kept secret, or something else entirely? whatever the Buga Sphere represents. It's clear we're only beginning to understand its significance. The cosmic connections. What transforms this discovery from merely unusual to potentially world-changing is its apparent connection to historical records that predated discovery by centuries. A document recently brought to light from the Vatican archive has stunned researchers. Dating back to the 17th century, this Jesuit map depicts what it calls 9 spheres of arrival across the globe. What's extraordinary is that one of these marked locations falls exactly over modern-day Buga, Colombia, the precise location where our mysterious sphere was discovered in March 2025. This historical document raises profound questions. How could cartographers from the 1600s have known to mark this specific location? And what did they understand about these spheres of arrival that we're only now beginning to grasp? This revelation has led some theorists to propose that the Buga object may not be unique, but rather part of a global set, a network of similar spheres potentially designed to communicate across vast time frames or distances. Adding another layer to this mystery, geospatial analysts have noted something even more perplexing. The exact coordinates where the Buga Sphere was discovered align with ancient ley line networks. These theoretical energy pathways connect major archaeological sites across South America, including Tiahuanaco, Nazca, and Sacsayhuaman, all locations known for their megalithic structures and astronomical alignments. The statistical probability of this object randomly landing at precisely this intersection point is virtually zero, noted one researcher familiar with the investigation. This suggests intentional placement along these ancient pathways. So if there's more than one, where are the others? And why now? Energy disturbances after landing. The mystery deepens when we examine environmental data collected around the Buga Sphere's landing site. This isn't just an unusual object. It appears to have measurable effects on its surroundings. Multiple independent sensors deployed in the area reported significant geomagnetic fluctuations within a 100-meter radius shortly after the sphere landed. These weren't minor variations. They represented substantial deviation from normal electromagnetic field readings for the region. Local residents reported several strange phenomena during the 48 hours following the sphere's appearance. Perhaps most notably, birds completely abandoned the area, a behavior typically associated with animals sensing unusual environmental changes or potential dangers. Electronic devices also exhibited unexpected behavior. GPS signals became erratic in the vicinity, with location services showing jumps of hundreds of meters. One technician working at the site reported that their smartwatch completely reset itself when brought within several meters of the sphere. "I've never seen anything like it," the technician stated. "The watch just went black, then rebooted to factory settings. No data loss, just a complete system restart." These observations have led researchers to theorize that the sphere may emit localized electromagnetic bursts, either as a natural property of its unusual composition or possibly as a reactive defense mechanism when disturbed. You've got GPS glitches, compass drift, even animals acting strange. This isn't sci-fi, this is real environmental data. Something about this object is bending the rules of what we thought was possible. When we talk about electromagnetic disturbances, people often imagine dramatic Hollywood-style effects. But what we're seeing here is much more subtle and, in many ways, more fascinating. The sphere seems to create a field of influence that temporarily alters electronic functioning without permanently damaging equipment. What's particularly interesting is how precisely defined this field appears to be, approximately 100 meters in radius, with effect diminishing at the edges. This suggests not random interference, but something more controlled and potentially purposeful. The question becomes, is this an intentional feature of the sphere's design, or simply a side effect of its unusual composition? Either way, it challenges our understanding of material science and electromagnetic field generation. Did it open, or did something leave? Perhaps the most startling development in this unfolding mystery is what appears to have happened to the sphere itself. A video that recently went viral shows what many believe is a sphere actually splitting slightly, revealing a faint interior glow accompanied by an audible resonance. While experts continue to analyze this footage for signs of manipulation, multiple witnesses present during the event have corroborated what they saw. The sphere, they claim, momentarily separated along a previously invisible seam, emitting light from within. What makes this account particularly compelling is the additional evidence captured by scientific equipment in the area. Wildlife monitoring devices designed to record ultrasonic and infrasonic frequencies beyond human hearing range reportedly detected an unusual pulse or tone at the exact moment the sphere exhibited this behavior. The audio signature doesn't match any known natural or artificial source in our database, explained one sound analyst who reviewed the recordings. It's structured in a way that suggests information encoding rather than random noise. A leaked email from a research assistant working with the sphere hints at even more dramatic possibilities. The message describes a possible internal shift and speculates about the release of compressed plasma or data pulse from within the object. This raises profound questions. Did the sphere actually open physically? Did it transmit something, or did something emerge from it? Whether the sphere opened or simply responded, something fundamental has changed about this enigmatic object. And just wait until you hear how some believe this may not be an object at all, but a being. The newest theory, living metal. As researchers continue to study the Buga Sphere, increasingly unusual properties have led to even more radical theories about its nature. One particularly compelling hypothesis comes from a fringe researcher whose name has been withheld at their request, who has been conducting specialized material tests on samples from the sphere's surface. Their findings reveal something extraordinary. The sphere's outer material responds non-linearly to thermal change. Unlike conventional metals or alloys, which expand and contract in predictable ways when heated or cooled, this material behaves differently. Most surprisingly, when subjected to extreme cold, measurements indicated that its mass slightly increased, a property that defies our conventional understanding of material science. This bizarre behavior hints at the possibility of phase shift materials, or what some cutting-edge physicists call programmable matter, substances that can reconfigure the molecular level in response to environmental stimuli. This suggests we're dealing with something far more complex than a static object, the researcher explained. The material appears to be partly alive, or at least self-modifying, based on its environment. This perspective casts the enigmatic markings on the sphere's surface in an entirely new light. What appear to be writing or ancient symbols might actually be frequency codes, essentially resonant instructions that trigger specific responses when the right conditions are met. In this context, the sphere's reaction to sound frequencies makes perfect sense. It wasn't responding to language, but to precise vibrational patterns encoded in its very structure. Let's just say this isn't metal in the way we understand metal. It's responsive, almost like skin. And if that's true, then maybe it wasn't made, maybe it was grown or birthed. Think about how dramatically this changes our understanding of what we're dealing with. If the sphere contains material that can modify itself, essentially learning from or adapting to its environment, then we're no longer talking about an artifact or tool. We might be looking at something with properties we usually associate with biological systems, but manifested through inorganic materials. This blurs the line between what we consider living and non-living. The implications are profound. Could this represent a form of technology so advanced that it incorporates elements of both machine and organism? Or perhaps something that evolved along an entirely different path than Earth-based life? I know this sounds like science fiction, but remember, the properties being observed are real, documented phenomena. The explanations may be speculative, but the data points themselves are factual. The chip inside, black projects. Adding another layer to this already complex mystery is information about what may lie at the very center of the Buga Sphere. Some sources familiar with the initial X-ray scans claim a microchip-like object is embedded deep within the core, surrounded by the microspheres and concentric metal layers. While this claim hasn't been officially confirmed, it aligns with a leaked document that has recently surfaced online. The document, allegedly from a foreign aerospace contractor, makes reference to layered lattice testing and non-Newtonian impulse response in connection with an unspecified recovered object. The timing of this leak is particularly notable, as it coincides with reports that the Buga Sphere was handed off to a private technology firm approximately 3 weeks after its public discovery. Since then, official updates about the sphere have become increasingly sparse, leading many to speculate that the object is now part of a classified research program. The silence itself tells us something, noted one insider familiar with advanced aerospace research. When objects of unknown origin suddenly disappear from public view, it typically means someone has recognized potential technological applications. This has fueled widespread speculation that the sphere is already being reverse-engineered, with possible applications ranging from advanced material science to revolutionary propulsion systems. Whether these claims represent genuine insider knowledge or simply conjecture remains uncertain. However, the abrupt cessation of public updates about such a significant discovery certainly raises questions about who is currently studying the sphere and what they might have found. What if this is just the beginning? What if we just activated something that's part of a chain, one that doesn't end with us discovering it, but with it discovering us? Think about what we've covered so far. A seamless metal sphere that appears to respond to specific stimuli, internal components that shift and reconfigure, possible data transmission capabilities, material properties that defy conventional physics. Now, consider the implications. If this object contains something akin to a processing chip, we're not just looking at an artifact, we're looking at a device, a tool, possibly even a probe of some kind. And if that's true, we have to ask, what is its purpose? Was it designed to gather information, to establish contact, or perhaps to activate other similar objects that might be out there? The fact that it has reportedly disappeared into private hands only deepens the mystery. Are we witnessing the beginning of a technological breakthrough that could transform our understanding of materials, science, and energy, or something far more profound about our place in the cosmos? These questions aren't just idle speculation. They speak to the heart of what makes discoveries like the Buga Sphere so captivating. They challenge us to expand our thinking beyond the comfortable boundaries of what we believe is possible. Let's step back and review what we definitively know about the Buga Sphere, separating verified facts from speculation. The sphere was first reported on March 2nd, 2025, in Boa, Colombia. According to multiple witnesses and drone footage, it was observed flying erratically over the town before landing and being recovered intact by local researchers. Physically, the object is approximately 10 to 15 centimeters in diameter, roughly the size of a bowling ball, and weighs about 4.5 pounds. Observers consistently note that it feels unnaturally cold to the touch, regardless of ambient temperature. Perhaps most intriguingly, the sphere has no visible welds or seams, a characteristic highly unusual for manufactured objects. The surface of the sphere features carved symbols or glyphs that observers have compared to various ancient scripts, including runes, cuneiform, and Ogham. However, linguistic experts have been unable to match these markings to any known historical language, raising questions about their origin and purpose. Internal scans of the object, primarily X-rays, have revealed a complex structure consisting of 3 concentric metal layers, 9 internal microspheres arranged in a specific pattern, and a dense central mass. This elaborate internal architecture has puzzled engineers and material scientists. Dr. Jose Luis Velasquez, a radiologist involved in the initial investigation, expressed astonishment at the sphere's construction, stating, "I've never seen anything like it." He described it as a very rare piece with unprecedented characteristics. However, not all experts are convinced of an extraordinary explanation. Dr. Julia Mossbridge, a physicist from the Institute for Love and Time at the University of San Diego, suggested a more prosaic possibility, noting that it could be a really cool odd project. She has advised against jumping to conclusions without thorough scientific analysis. Despite significant public interest, comprehensive scientific data about the sphere remains limited. No detailed material analysis or spectrographic tests have been publicly released, leaving many questions about its composition unanswered. As we continue to gather information about the Buga Sphere, several theories have emerged to explain its origin and purpose. Each offers a different perspective on what this enigmatic object might represent. Some researchers propose the sphere could be an alien artifact, pointing to its seamless construction and apparent composition of unknown alloys. The absence of visible manufacturing marks, combined with its unusual internal architecture, suggests manufacturing capabilities beyond current human technology. Others suggest it might be a vault or device from a lost ancient civilization, with a mysterious glyph serving not as writing but as frequency instructions, a kind of acoustic key. This would explain the sphere's reported response to specific sound patterns. A more unusual theory proposes a sphere might be designed as a biometric key that only reacts to specific DNA sequences or frequency patterns. This could explain why it appears to respond differently depending on who interacts with it or what sounds are played near it. The most skeptical analysis suggests it could be an elaborate hoax or art installation, meticulously crafted to appear mysterious. Dr. Mossbridge noted this possibility, suggesting that creating such an object, while difficult, would not be impossible with sufficient resources and expertise. Some theorists believe the Buga Sphere might be just one fragment of a larger system, with similar objects potentially scattered across the globe. The reference in historical documents to 9 spheres of arrival lends some credence to this possibility. Perhaps most intriguingly, quantum physicists have suggested the core might function as a sophisticated storage device, encoding data using quantum interference patterns rather than conventional digital storage methods. This would represent technology far beyond our current capabilities. What makes the Buga Sphere truly remarkable isn't just its appearance or discovery, it's that it appears to be responding. After months of observation and analysis, the object is showing behaviors that no known human-made device can replicate. The reported emissions of light, generation of localized magnetic fields, internal structural shifts, and response to specific sound frequencies all point to something beyond a simple artifact. This is an active device with apparent purpose and function. Whether it represents a vault containing ancient knowledge, a warning system triggered by specific environmental conditions, or a beacon designed to communicate across vast distances, one thing has become increasingly clear: the Buga Sphere is active. Recent developments suggest we may be witnessing just the beginning of a process that was set in motion long ago. The sphere's apparent activation raises profound questions about its creators and their intentions. One thing is now certain: this wasn't just an artifact. It was waiting, and now it's begun. If you want updates the moment we hear more, subscribe right now. Hit like to help more people see this story before it disappears again.